Hi everyone, me and my colleagues are going to discuss about the topic littering. Littering is the careless act of throwing waste or rubbish in public places instead of disposing it properly in bins. At our school, this often means food wrappers, papers, or bottles being left behind in classroom or on the ground and around the hallways. While it may seem harmless, littering has serious consequences. At our school, it possesses health hazards, gives our school a negative image, and increases maintenance costs. In this presentation, my colleagues are going to discuss the causes and effects of littering around the school campus, especially in University of Goroka. Thank you. I am going to leave it to my colleagues to discuss the effects.
Alright, welcome back to the second half of the presentation. The first part has been done by one of my colleagues, and this is the second part, which I'll be talking about the causes of litter, especially at UG. Alright, so research has been carried out, and we found out that there are four major factors that make students to litter. And the first one is lack of environmental awareness. Alright, as many students are not educated about how littering affects the environment, public health, and university image. No formal orientation system focuses on sustainability or cleanliness. People who are not aware of the environmental impact of litter may not understand how trash pollutes environment. Also, without awareness, individuals may not feel personally responsible for keeping the environment clean. People may not know the proper way to dispose waste, leading to careless dumping of trash. Since in places where low environment awareness, littering can become normalized, making it more socially acceptable. Alright, so that's the first cause of litter. The second is the poor waste disposal infrastructure. Few rubbish bins available, and existing ones are often not well maintained or emptied regularly. When there aren't enough trash bins, people are more likely to discard waste on the ground, and if garbage is not collected regularly, bin overflow. As bin overflow, excess waste builds on the open places, and also damaged bins are unsecured. Leads allow wind, rain, and animals like dogs to scatter waste to create litter. Alright, so that's the second cause. And the third is the careless attitudes. Some students develop a mindset where they don't see the importance of properly disposing of their rubbish. They might think others are doing it, so they are doing it too. This kind of thinking often comes from the assumption that cleaning is not the responsibility, but the responsibility of someone else, such as janitors or cleaners. As a result, they are careless about the way they throw their trash. And the final one is the cultural and habitual norms. Alright, so we found out that students come from different places, and in some of these places, proper waste disposal is not commonly practiced or enforced. When people grow in environments where littering is seen as normal, they develop habits that are hard to change. Even when they move to a new places like a university, they often continue to behave in the same way because that's what they used to do. Alright, so this is the last cause of the littering, and this is the end of the second presentation. Now I'm going to hand it over to my colleagues. and he's going to talk about the causes, the effect of littering, what litter caused, the short-term and the long-term effect. Thank you.
This is the third part of the presentation, which I'll be talking or presenting now about the effects of the littering around the school campus, especially here in the University of Goroka or UG. So you all know there are many effects of littering around the school campus, but we will be only discussing the major effects of the littering around the school campus that has been outlined by our first speaker, our colleagues. So first one, increased maintenance cost. Increased maintenance cost are significant consequences of littering on school campus. So simply increased maintenance cost occur when students and staff fail to properly dispose of their waste. It places a greater burden on the school custodial staffs, requiring more time and resources to maintain a clean and safe environment. For instance, schools often have to increase the frequency of cleaning schedule or hire, or they will hire additional personnel to manage accumulated litter in the classrooms, hallways, or playgrounds, and etc. This not only strains the school maintained budget, but also diverts the fund that could be used for educational materials or extra school activities, or to improve some facilities in the school campus. In addition, items such as food wrappers or beverage containers can attract pests or cause damage to school property, leading to further repair expenses. In some cases or in some areas, the school may need to purchase or buy more waste bins or invest in awareness campaigns, all of which add to the overall cost. Therefore, littering does not just affect the appearance of the campus, but it also puts a strain on the school budget. Furthermore, the study conducted by the Environmental Protection Agency, or in short they will say EPA, noted that littering in public places, including in schools, contribute significantly to localized maintenance expenses. Therefore, promoting responsible waste awareness, disposal, and environmental awareness among students can help schools reduce unnecessary cost and create a healthier environment for students to learn. So that's all from me. I will leave it over to my next colleagues. To further discuss on the effects of littering, especially here in New Zealand. Thank you.
Once again, I'm going to continue on with the effect caused by littering around UG campus. Yeah, certainly littering on the University of Goroka campus has far-reaching consequences beyond just an untidy environment. So here is a deeper look at two major effects that I'm going to talk about, which is the health hazard and negative image of the campus. And in health hazard, I have 3 points. Bullet point number 1, which is the spread of disease. Number 2, air and water pollution. And number 3, physical injuries. In spread of disease, which is the health hazard, especially food waste, we do not ask empty plastic or empty can rings. They attract pests like rats, cockroaches, mosquitoes, and even flies, which they usually spread diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and foodborne illnesses that affect students and staff or even visitors who visit UOG campus. So those are the things that cause or affect visitors or students and staff. And bullet point number 2, which is the air and water pollution. So decomposing waste release harmful bacteria and toxins into the air and nearby water sources, which potentially contaminating drinking water and affecting overall hygiene. So in air and water pollution, one of the common diseases, especially in Eastern Highlands, in Goroka particularly, the main disease such as typhoid. Typhoid is the main disease that were caused by such decomposing of waste, waste materials, littering of rubbish. So, typhoid is one of the main diseases. Now, bullet point number 3, physical injuries. Physical injuries like sharp objects like broken glass or discarded metal for buildings can pose risk to students and staff, leading to cuts or infections. So, number two major effect that I'm going to talk about, which is the negative image of the campus. So, bullet point number 1, which is the reputation damage. So, a litter campus creates an impression of neglect environment, which can discourage prospective students and visitors. The visitors willing to visit the UOG or University of Goroka. It may also affect the university standing and in academic ranking or the performance of universities, and reduce student morale, which is the bullet point number 2. Reduce student morale. A dirty environment can negatively impact student motivation and also affect their pride in the institution, making them less likely to engage in campus activities or any activities that were organized by institution. And students will feel like they less likely to engage because of their moral, because of the appearance of the institution. So bullet point number 3, which is the environmental impact. So littering contributes to long-term effect, which is the environmental degradation, affecting areas or green areas, so green spaces, and making them unwilling or uncleanliness for the campus. So this is the impact caused by the littering. So thank you, and this is the end of the impact, which is my first colleague has already present, and I'm the second one going for the 2 major effect. And now I'm going to leave it over to the to my next colleague. I'm going to elaborate on the conclusion part and recommendation and provide solution for such effect within UOG campus. Thank you.
Once again, hi everyone. I'm here to make conclusion and recommendation based on the topic littering of rubbish around the University of Goroka. Littering around the school campus, especially UOG, is a significant issue that affects the environment, the health of the students, and overall appearance of the school, University of Goroka. The common issues of litter include food wrappers, plastic bottles, paper waste, etc., which is often carried irresponsibly by students and staffs, as well as ancillary staffs during breaks or after school. Despite the presence of waste bins, improper waste disposal remains a challenge, indicating a lack of awareness and responsibility among staffs and students of the University of Goroka. Therefore, to recommend, schools should suggest realistic and practical solutions to reduce littering in terms of increasing awareness campaigns, which means awareness should be carried in order to let the students to aware of not littering the rubbish around the school campus, which is not a proper place to litter. And the second point is provide more waste bins. To provide more waste bin means we have to provide waste bins in each division. Like we have to install a waste bin in each division, like science division, social science division, IT division, so the students will dispose their rubbish into the waste bin. And the third one is regular cleanup drives, which means we have to indicate a day in a week. For instance, we have to indicate Wednesday as our cleanup time in the University of Goroka, around the campus to do the cleanup. And the fourth one is implement a reward system, which means in each division we have to put a reward system, like when each division do the regular cleanups, and there must be a person to carry out the task to identify which division make a good cleanup, so that we have to reward them, to promote them to do the regular cleanups every week, every day in a week. As I've said, to recommend, we have to provide a strong suggestion and realistic practical solution for the beautification of the University of Goroka. That's the end of our presentation.